The air on Geonosis was thick with the scent of dust, ozone, and the chilling metallic tang of conflict. A cacophony of blaster fire, the whirring of droid machinery, and the screams of Jedi filled the cavernous arena. Amidst this swirling maelstrom, one figure stood out, Master Mace Windu. He moved with an almost preternatural calm, his purple lightsaber a blur of defiant light against the overwhelming tide of separatist forces. He had faced down Jango Fett, the notorious bounty hunter, and in a swift, decisive confrontation, the deadly blaster had fallen, and with it, something else, Windu's lightsaber, momentarily lost amidst the chaos. For any other Jedi, this might have been a moment of fatal vulnerability. To be disarmed, surrounded by thousands of droids, and the looming threat of the arena beast would spell certain doom. But Mace Windu was not just any Jedi. His connection to the Force ran deep, a quiet, formidable river beneath his composed exterior. And in that precise, critical instant, with the arena floor a maelstrom of destruction, an almost imperceptible shift occurred. Without a single word, without a grand gesture, Windu extended his hand, not towards an enemy, but towards the gleaming silver hilt of his weapon. There was no struggle, no visible strain, just a smooth, inexorable pull. The lightsaber, which had moments ago been a lost extension of his will, now seemed to leap from the ground, soaring through the chaotic space, directly into his waiting palm. It was an act of pure, unadulterated telekinesis, not just a neat trick, but a seamless, integrated part of his fighting style, a testament to his profound mastery over the physical world through the Force. He reclaimed what was his, and the tide of the battle, if only for a moment, shifted back. This moment, often overshadowed by the larger conflict that erupted on Geonosis, speaks volumes about Mace Windu's capabilities. He was a master not just of lightsaber combat, but of the Force itself, particularly its telekinetic applications. He wielded it not as a secondary ability, but as an intrinsic part of his being, a versatile tool he could deploy with astonishing precision, whether for attack, defense, or, most profoundly, for salvation. His proficiency in various forms of telekinesis meant he could utilize this power as both an aggressive weapon and an unbreakable shield. We often think of the Force in terms of raw power, lifting X-wings, crushing starships. But with Windu, it was often about the finesse, the immediate tactical application within the heart of combat. The Geonosis demonstration, bringing his lightsaber to hand, was just one facet. It spoke to his readiness, his immediate adaptability. No obstacle, no matter how small or how seemingly insignificant, could truly disarm him. His weapon was always within reach, an extension of his will, summoned with an effortless command that spoke of years, perhaps decades of honing this specific connection. Consider another instance, far from the chaotic dust of Geonosis, on the besieged world of Ryloth. The planet was under separatist occupation, and the Clone Wars raged. Windu, leading a crucial mission, found himself facing down a relentless wave of battle droids. These cold, metallic adversaries, though numerous, often lacked true tactical intelligence, relying on sheer numbers and overwhelming firepower. But Windu saw beyond their steel frames. He understood their vulnerabilities. Instead of merely deflecting blaster bolts or cutting through them one by one, he employed a different strategy, one that leveraged his telekinetic prowess. With a focused, almost imperceptible surge of the Force, he would telekinetically pull these battle droids directly towards him. Imagine the scene, a unit of B-1 series droids, advancing in formation, suddenly lurching forward, their delicate internal mechanisms thrown off balance. They weren't just being knocked over, they were being precisely reeled in, like fish on a line, their rigid forms becoming clumsy, vulnerable. And in that brief, disoriented moment, a fatal lightsaber attack would swiftly follow, turning what might have been a prolonged skirmish into a swift, decisive strike. It was a brutal efficiency, a demonstration of telekinesis not as a raw shove, but as a strategic maneuver, setting up his opponents for the inevitable. He didn't just fight them, he manipulated the very space they occupied, orchestrating their demise with an unseen hand. But perhaps the most poignant and powerful demonstrations of Windu's telekinesis came not in battle against an enemy, but in the desperate act of saving a life. During the Clone Wars, the galaxy was a dangerous place, and Jedi often found themselves in impossible situations, with lives hanging in the balance. There was a moment, details shrouded in the larger conflict, when two clone troopers found themselves plummeting towards their deaths. Perhaps a precarious ledge had given way, or a crumbling structure had failed beneath their feet. Whatever the cause, they were in freefall, their fate seemingly sealed. It was in this desperate, terrifying moment that Mace Windu's true power, his profound empathy married with his mastery of the Force, shone brightest. Without hesitation, he reached out, not with his physical hand, but with the invisible yet immensely powerful grip of telekinesis. He didn't just slow their descent, he arrested it entirely. The two clone troopers, caught in mid-air, suspended by an unseen force, were then gently, carefully lifted back upwards, away from the yawning chasm below. Imagine their relief, their disbelief, as they were lifted, weightless, to safety. This was not about combat efficiency, this was about the preservation of life, a testament to the Jedi ideal. It required immense control, a delicate touch amidst immense power, ensuring not just their survival, but their gentle return to solid ground. He didn't just save them from falling, he cradled them with the Force, an act of profound compassion and power. Mace Windu's mastery of telekinesis was far more than a flashy parlor trick or a mere extension of his combat prowess. It was a versatile, indispensable tool that transcended the simple act of fighting. It was the swift, precise recall of his most vital weapon when disarmed. It was the tactical brilliance of pulling adversaries into a vulnerable state, turning defense into swift offense. And most profoundly, it was the empathetic, life-saving application of incredible power to snatch individuals from the very brink of death. His telekinesis was far more than a flashy parlor trick or a mere extension of his combat prowess. It was a versatile, indispensable tool that transcended the simple act of fighting. It was the swift, precise recall of his most vital weapon when disarmed. It was the tactical brilliance of pulling adversaries into a vulnerable state, turning defense into swift offense. And most profoundly, it was the empathetic, life-saving application of incredible power to snatch individuals from the very brink of death. His telekinesis was not just a destructive force, it was a protective embrace, a testament to the full spectrum of a Jedi Master's connection to the living Force. It allowed him to engage, defend, and preserve, making him a truly unique and formidable presence in the galaxy, a true Force power beyond the lightsaber. These glimpses into Master Windu's telekinetic abilities remind us that the Force is a boundless resource, adaptable to countless situations. And in the hands of a master like Windu, it was a tool of both elegant destruction and profound preservation. It wasn't just about moving objects, it was about shaping outcomes, controlling situations, and ultimately saving lives. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Mace Windu's Force abilities. What other moments stood out to you? Did you appreciate his unique application of telekinesis? Share your insights and favorite Windu moments in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the depths of a Jedi Master's power, consider following for more explorations into the fascinating lore of the galaxy far, far away. Until next time, may the Force be with you.